All right, let's dive in. Today, we're exploring a really powerful idea about purpose and success, and more specifically, who gets the credit for it all. We're going to be looking at what the source material calls the divine architecture of increase.
So this quote right here, this is basically our entire blueprint for today. It's from his witness T. Alcent, and it's packed with meaning. You see that line? He would not allow human hands to author what only God had ordained. We're going to break down exactly what that means and the framework it proposes for a life that points to something bigger than itself. And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? If your life is like a building, what's the actual blueprint for it? And more importantly, how do you construct it so that all the credit for its success, its increase, goes to the divine architect and not just the person holding the hammer? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. Okay, so where do you even start with a building like this? Well, according to our source text, the entire structure rests on one single thing, a foundation of focus. And it uses the story of Abraham to show us this first absolutely crucial principle, what it calls an unwavering gaze. So what does that actually look like in practice?
So when we talk about a fixed gaze, we're not talking about just, a casual glance. It's a deliberate, singular focus. The idea is to lock on to a divine source so intently that pretty much all other influences, all the other noise, the other distractions, they just get shut out. It's all about having only one true North Star to guide you.
And this right here really gets at the intensity we're talking about. That word holy is everything. It implies a total, all-in kind of commitment. We're not talking 90% or even 99%. It's a complete orientation of all your attention, all your ambition toward that one single source.
All right, so if that intense focus is your foundation, what's the next level of this architecture? Well, that kind of focus naturally creates a tension, right? A conflict over who gets the credit for the end result. Is it human effort or is it divine design? This really breaks down that constant tug of war perfectly. On one side, you've got what we can call human authorship, that desire we all have to lay claim to our success, to say, my own two hands did this. But on the other side, you've got divine ordination, which is a direct result of that fixed gaze. The text basically frames this as the fundamental choice we all have to make. And you got to notice the active language here. He would not allow. This is not a passive stance. It suggests a constant, deliberate defense. It's the act of actively guarding the story of your success, making sure that the byline, the author's credit, stays with the original source.
So, what's the point of all this? Why go to all the trouble of maintaining this focus and guarding the authorship? Well, the text suggests it's all for one ultimate reason, so that your success, your increase, becomes a testament.
Now this is a really crucial point. When the text talks about increase, it doesn't just mean getting more stuff or hitting bigger goals. In this framework, the real value of any success is measured by how well it serves as a public witness, how clearly it points back to where it came from. The achievement itself is just the signpost.
And here it is, the whole architecture put together in 3 clear steps. It all starts with the gaze, that total all-in focus. That naturally leads you to the guard, where you actively protect the authorship. And the final result, the top floor of this whole building, is the testimony, where your achievements do the talking for their source.
Let's just pause on that for a second, because that's a huge idea. This framework is proposing a really radical shift in how we think about ambition. The achievement isn't the final destination. The real goal is what that achievement says and who it points to. You could say the success is the medium, but it's not the message.
So we've looked at this whole blueprint through the story of Abraham, but the source text makes it very clear that this isn't just some ancient history lesson. No, this is a direct challenge to us right here and right now. And there it is, the call to action. Let your focus be the same. This is a direct invitation for us to apply these exact same principles, to build with the same architecture in our own lives. It's asking us to really think about what or who our source is, and then to guard it with that same kind of intensity. When you boil it all down, the takeaway is pretty profound. Ultimately, everything you build, your career, your relationships, your legacy, it all becomes your witness. The story you tell about how you got there is what defines what your entire life testifies to. And that leaves us with this final, really challenging question. I mean, let's be real. We live in a world that is obsessed with credit, with building a personal brand, with making a name for ourselves. And in the middle of that culture, this framework asks you to make a choice.
Who or what, ultimately, gets the credit for your life's work?